What up, y'all? It's your boy, One Sir Grove. This is actually part 2 of episode 40 of C4CW. That's casting 495 celebrities worldwide. This is part 2. We had part 1 before this is what I meant to say. This is a mobile podcast too, by the way. This is part 2 of 2 parts. So in other words, episode 40, this is episode 40. It's just that it got split into 2 different parts. So there's already been part 1. This is part 2 of episode 40. Just want to thank anyone and everyone for tuning back in. So where we left off in part 1 of these 2 parts for episode 40 was I was talking about Lorne Michaels and Saturday Night Live and the decline of the show in the past couple of years. And I believe that it happened when Andy Samberg left. I was a huge, and still am, a huge fan of Andy and his crew. And that shit was fucking rocking. Like, they were the shit, and it was dope. And then after he left, it was like a vacuum, and it just got fucking dumb. And that's the bottom line. It was just fucking whack after that. I saw where they were trying, dude, to do some shit, but I also saw where it was like, it didn't make any sense. It was, as I always say, it was a combination of the Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. There was weird shit going on. It's like, come on, dude, it's fucking Saturday Night Live. How can this be bullshit? Like, you're supposed to have the world's best writers, some of them, and this is dumb as fuck. Like, how could this fucking fall like it has in this way? Like, it doesn't really jive, and it doesn't really, like, gel. It's just so fucking weird that you have this money, you're here in New York, you have this history and this legacy of this show, and now all of a sudden it's dumb as fuck. Like, you have to know that it's gotten to be dumb. Like, unless people who are behind the show are super fucking high, and they're really just not fucking focused and not paying attention, and they think that the shit's fresh, I doubt that's the case, dude. I mean, if you look at Saturday Night Live and people who have been comedians on the show who, after everything is said and done, from those like 70s, 80s like eras, and they're like, yeah, this is what was going on, and behind the scenes there was a lot of this going on with drugs and parties and things like that. I'm talking about nowadays, dude. I mean, come on, dude. I don't really think these people are that fucking high that they don't know that the show's as whack as it has become. They have to know. I mean, you're Saturday Night Live. So if you know, and if you're in New York, like, who are the people that they're hiring? Like, where are they getting people? Where are they sourcing human resources? Like, how is that happening? Like, how can you have these world-class writers and the shit's just whack? Like, something's weird, man. Something's not adding up. That's the fucked up thing about the show, is it can't be as whack as it is, dude. Like, without there being like some kind of, it's not a minor issue, it's a major issue, because you wouldn't just let the shit be the way that it is unless there's something fucked up going on behind the scenes. There has to be something fucked up. I mean, I do math. I fucks with numbers, okay? So I look at different analyses, and I'm pretty fucking, this is not to toot my own horn. It's not to be conceited or egotistical. I mean, I don't always get it right, but, I mean, I was a college honor student, and, I get it right, like, most of the time. A lot of times, I mean, can't be right 100% of the time, and I'm most certainly no Sherlock Holmes, but I'm telling you, dude, there's something fucked up going on behind the scenes. It's not just poor quality writing. There's something else, dude. It's got to be. Because nobody in their fucking right mind would just let the shit be fucking as stupid as it has been. The shit is getting approved by someone or a group. There's somebody's approving these sketches and saying, yeah, just go ahead and do it. But they got to be knowing that when they're approving the shit, that the shit's faulty from the gate. Like, they have to know that the shit is already whack, and they're doing it anyway, which suggests that they don't have anything better than what they're putting out, because if they did, then why would they be putting out the bullshit that they are? So they're putting out bullshit, right, knowingly, and then it's like there's nothing in its place that's better. Like, that's weird. Out of all the people that have graduated from, like, theatrical, like, stage play, school programs, so, like, writing programs, like literature, like wherever people are, gotten, sourced, where they come from whence, or rather where they're derived. Like, we're talking about fucking comedy writers, dude. Like, improv people, right? Like, comedians and shit, stand up and otherwise. Like, we're talking about New York, and there's whack shit coming out of SNL. How? How is that? Like, just nobody's available to do the show, like, anymore? Like, they can't get fucking top-notch people to do the shit anymore? I just don't believe that, dude. That doesn't make any sense in the real world. So, if they have the money, which I'm guessing they fucking do at Saturday Night Live, I doubt that they're hurting financially, okay? Because, dude, they could, hey, SNL is hurting financially. Could SNL fans around the world help us out with finances? I doubt it's a financial problem. I doubt it's a financial issue. I highly fucking doubt that it has to do with finances. So if they have the resources, why is it whack? Why is it garbage? Why is it trash? Why is it bullshit? Like, why is that happening? Somebody's approving some shit, saying, okay, so then that means that it's being poorly managed. And if it is being poorly managed, which it sounds like it is being poorly managed, who the fuck is who's behind the poor management? Somebody who is somehow currently and has been currently in charge of Saturday Night Live is authorizing garbage. That person can't possibly fucking believe that what she is releasing to the public on air on Saturday Night Live, okay? Live, emphasis, live. Whoever the fuck is behind it, dude, whatever. Is it a person? Is it a group of people? Dude, they gotta know that this shit is bullshit. And they're doing it anyway. Somebody has to be telling them, like, okay, you do realize that you've been doing stupid shit for as long as you've been in power here on the show, and we have contracts, so we're not going anywhere unless we absolutely get fired for fucking some reason that you make up, right? Or that's justifiable. But regardless, we're telling you this shit's bullshit, and you're telling us that you're going to do another bullshit episode of Saturday Night Live. You're going to do another bullshit one? You're going to do another bullshit one? Okay, here we go again. This shit is garbage, and of course, you are going to fucking approve it again. Somebody at Saturday Night Live, dude, is doing some faulty shit. And they know that they're doing it. And so then that tells me that somebody got into Saturday Night Live somehow, some way, and has been doing some fucked up shit intentionally. Because it's all being done purposefully and intentionally. How did that person get into power? How did that person get in there and say, yep, okay, we're going to do another one, and people are just like, oh, no, here we go again. Hey, boss, like, you know that you're fucking up, and, you know, we're not liking your shit like that you're doing, but you're forcing our hand to do another bullshit episode of Saturday Night Live, even though fans and people across the board are writing in, and that person's just like, yep, well, I'm going to do some fucked up shit again. I'm guessing that's what's happening. It cannot mathematically be some other shit. It just really can't be. So, again, using mathematics, applying mathematics, statistical probability, inference, deduction, it's got to be that, dude. I know I'm close to the truth. So, what I was saying in part 1 of part 2 of these episodes, episode 40, split into 2 different episodes, what I was saying at the tail end of part 1 is that Lorne Michaels, if I were given an opportunity, I would put a stop to that shit immediately. Because I know how it was done before, and I know the formula, and I know how to make it fresh. First of all, just Andy Samberg leaving the show was fucking, that was the shit. The show was dope when Andy was on the fucking show. And, did anybody notice that now that he's gone that the show's bullshit? Well, I don't know that he would ever come back. I don't know what the contracts are. I don't know what his feelings are with regard to how he was treated when he was on the show. What I do know is if he came back to the show, the shit would be tight, period, bottom line, fucking end of story, and the shit would be immediate. You know why? Because the quality of the stuff that he was doing on the show was superior. It was fucking superb. It was top notch. It was fucking rad, okay? Everything Andy did was tight as fuck, okay? So I know he wouldn't come back to the show. I'm saying in a hypothetical scenario, I know he wouldn't come back to the show and it would turn out to be bullshit. That wouldn't make any sense. Like, Andy Samberg, everything he ever touched on Saturday Night Live was fucking gold, okay? It was platinum. It was top fucking flight. Now all of a sudden in this hypothetical scenario, he returns to the show and it starts to be stupid. No, that's not gonna that wouldn't happen. So one way to make Saturday Night Live fresh again would be to get Andy Samberg back on the show. Now, again, I don't know how he feels about the SNL, about the show. the production behind the scenes, I have no fucking idea. You know what I'm saying? I'm just simply saying that from a mathematical standpoint, to save the show, to salvage the show, to fucking bring it back, and do it the way that it was being done when Andy was doing it, that could happen, dude, in a hypothetical scenario, and the shit would be fucking, it would be rectified, it would be resolved. That would be a solution. That is a solution that I'm proposing to Saturday Night Live and the world audience. So it's not like the show is so fucking far gone that it can't be fixed. Well, let's say, as I'm looking here, let's see, Andy Samberg, music group, The Lonely Island, which is his crew, you know, his comedy troupe. Andy Samberg, if he didn't want to come back to the show, if he's like, nah, you know, hey, listen, dude, if he just said, hey, look, I have no hard feelings about Saturday Night Live. Like, I loved it. It was the fucking time of my life, man. That was the shit. One of the highlights of my life. That shit was fucking tight as fuck, yo. Like, I have nothing but great things to say. It was a remarkable experience. The shit was splendid. It was motherfucking stupendous, dude. And I don't take any of it back. I have no regrets. But I'm not going to return to the show because I'm doing other things. And man, I wish everyone the best of luck, right? If he were to say that, well, then how could you fix the show? Well, here's what I would do. If I had 90 days to fix the show, I would fucking communicate with anybody who would be willing to communicate with me from the old troupe. All the old dudes that were ever on the show. Eddie Murphy, fucking, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase. Like, I would be talking to the greats, man. Like, anybody, dude, who's still alive right now, man, from that era of when they had, like, Dan Aykroyd and, the Blues Brothers. All that shit, dude. All that old shit, man. Dana Carvey. Just all the old shit, dude. I be hitting them up like, yo, man, hey, I've been tasked with, this new shit, and I want to talk to y'all for a minute, man. Can I get your ear for a moment, man? Can I pick your brain? Can I holler at you? It's your boy, Once or Grove. And, yo, I would take it back to the old school, and I would be doing the old school fucking skits, man, like Toonses and shit. Now, look, those were writers specific to that era and that time, and they were doing it their way. And I'm not saying that I would copy their shit or that I would steal their shit. No, dude, that's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is I know the thematic. I know how it was going down back then because I saw every fucking Saturday Night Live. I've seen every one of them, dude. I've seen the entire disc set. Like, I've seen every fucking episode of the show, right? So I know how Saturday Night Live is supposed to be, even when the shit is being improv, okay? So that's my point, is that the show can be fixed. I mean, fuck, I could fix the show. Mr. Lorne Michaels, I've talked about this before on Reverb Nation. I'm your boy, Once or Grove. Just Google, Once or Grove, Reverb Nation. Out of the 1,000, raps that I got and different commentary that I have on Reverb Nation, I talk about a lot of crazy shit, sir. A lot of brazy shit. It's very outrageous, over the top. But yeah, there's actually an episode where I talk to you, Mr. Lorne Michaels, and I explain how I would fix the shit because it needs to be fixed, and I don't see anyone doing it, and I'm just being honest, and this is out of respect to you, and the SNL audience. So, I mean, even I could fucking fix the show. I'm just a rapper, you know what I mean? I'm just a rap artist, entertainer, podcaster, who has a book out, sci-fi, technological spy thriller, DJ with an Uzi that's being made into a feature film, because that's my shit and that's what I do. And I just happen to be a huge fan of SNL and happen to know how to fix the show. And that's why I've done this commentary, because I'm actually fucking serious about trying to, provide some input and help fix the fucked upness that's going down on air with regard to Saturday Night Live. I hope this upcoming season isn't some bullshit, dude, because if it is, I mean, dude, I started to see some shit last fall, where it's like I started to get into it, and then I was like, oh my God, they're doing it again. Because there will be that skit that reminds you of the old shit, and then the next one is bullshit. Now look, the old show, the way that it was done originally, there was shit like that too. It was like, all right, this is fun. Oh my God, this is a guy busting me funny. And then the next sketch, it was like, yeah, this ain't as funny as the first one. But I mean, nothing in comparison to what's now in terms of the bullshit now. They didn't on the old show, the legacy shit, the old original OG shit. They didn't have periods of time where they were in a lull for as long as they have been now. Now listen, there are historians who would argue, and I've seen in the documentaries Saturday Night Live was fledgling for a minute, like when the shit first launched, when it first began. I've seen that in history, in the document, and I get it. And, they had to bring people back who had been out for a minute. And I mean, maybe that's what needs to happen again. I've already proposed that. But I'm saying to y'all that I've been following SNL since the 1970s, man, and looking at all the data from all these different angles and all these different data points and peeping every iota of the show. And I'm a proponent of the show. As I have said, man, I am fucking a mega fan of the show. I could fix the shit, and I'm just being humble about that. And I've given expert analysis here, provided expert analysis with regard to my understanding of the show, the dynamics of it, how it's structured, how the sketches and skits are structured from those skeletal frameworks and skeletal structures to the improv and in between, and how it's cast, and the wardrobe, the stage, the lighting, the ambiance of it all, the atmosphere, the feel of it all, the character of it. Man, I'm a fucking writer, and I follow this shit behind the scenes, the technical aspects of it. Man, I've seen the whole shit, man, and I know how to fucking solve the issue, rectify, mitigate. I know how to fucking fix the thing, man. And I've been saying that, and I've been knowing about it, and I've been basically pleading with Saturday Night Live, man, to let me up on the shit. Let me get up there and on the shit on the set. And but not for real. But anyway, man, it's your boy. I've made my point. This is episode 40, part 2 of 2 parts of episode 40 of C4CW, casting 495 celebrities worldwide. 1.